One of the hardest parts of relationships, and I think it's one of the hardest parts to understand, is you can't want growth for somebody more than they want growth for themselves, and you can't really expect direction from somebody more than they want direction for themselves.
I used to feel sometimes like I was dragging people up a mountain that they didn't want to climb, and that was a losing game. So I had to learn and evolve and grow and mature as a man and as a leader and as a coach, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Next Level Nation, today for episode number 2064, a losing game when it comes to relationships. I don't mean for it to be negative. I don't want for it to be negative. Well, hopefully we'll be able to put a positive spin on it. I was talking to a friend a long time ago, and they were with someone, and they were trying to figure out whether or not they were going to stay with someone, and there was life stuff happening, and they were trying to figure out whether or not this was going to be their person. And they called me, and they were asking me for advice, and I was like, I don't know why you're asking me. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but let me see what I can do for you. Let me see if I have acquired some wisdom in my days of life. And I said, I think the thing that you're not factoring in is so much of what you're saying is based on, well, if they do this, if they do this, if they do this. Would you stay with them if they didn't do any of that? Because I'm not saying that they're not going to change. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have room for evolution. I'm not saying any of that. But when you fall in love with potential, it's a very dangerous game. With anything. Well, yeah, no, I know right now the job sucks, but I hear some good things about what could happen in the future. Maybe. Well, what's another good example? Potential. Well, yeah, no, I'm going to buy this car because I know after I fix it up, it's going to be better than it ever was in the beginning. Maybe the wheels are going to fall off. That's a possibility. I'm going to invest in this thing because I hear really good things about it. Maybe the CEO of the company is a shady Jeff and they're going to steal all your money. Who knows? You fall in love with potential, I feel like it's a really dangerous thing. So I said to this person, I said, if you have to be very honest with yourself about if nothing changed at all, would you regret moving forward? I'm not saying nothing is going to change, but I'm guessing it's probably not going to be to the degree that you want it to be. Because is that even really good for that person? To change in all the ways that you want them to? I don't know. I'm sure they have parts of you that they want you to change. Are you going to change all those things? I don't know. That's up to you guys. So that is where the thought for today's episode came from.
Here's the hardest part. There are certain people in my life that I see their potential, and I know I'm not alone in that. I think we all have some version of that. And some of them never changed at all, no matter how much I tried to encourage or support or entice, whatever you want to call it, lead. And other people, it worked wonders. You
fair.
Being one of them, man.
Well,
so how do you know?
Didn't I want it? I wanted it. I wanted something.
I know why.
Yeah.
But I didn't know at the time.
Well, but now you do, kind of.
Yeah. Well, I think it's work ethic, humility, and commitment. Not in that order. Humility first, work ethic second, and then commitment. And I've come to realize, and this is what I tell everybody on other podcasts.
Isn't it clarity though too? Like somebody has to know what they want in order for them to figure out whether or not you can help them get there.
Not just what they want, but what it's going to take too.
Yeah.
But how can you in advance? That's like an impossible.
You can
That's
have an
why
idea.
This is so hard.
You can have an idea. At least
nobody knows what marriage is going to be like until after they're married. At least not fully.
Fair. But even the point of, well, if you think getting married is going to fix it, it's not.
That's a fair set. That's why this is good. You
think having we'll have kids, that'll fix it. I think the fuck not. I think it's probably going to make it worse. Probably, most likely.
It will exacerbate whatever it is.
Yeah, I have to imagine. I don't have kids, so I don't know.
You and I have been told going into business together was a terrible idea. How did we know it wasn't a terrible idea? I fell in love with your potential for sure. Not in that way, but I definitely saw your potential and was like, fuck yeah. Absolutely, 100%. And if I didn't believe in you enough to invest in you, we wouldn't have gotten here. I was with Emilia not long ago. I think this was last night probably. And I said, Kevin's evolving so much.
Not long ago.
And I thought that conversation I had with him, so there was a behind-the-scenes conversation with Kev recently that was really tough. And I don't know who was tougher for, me or him, because I didn't want to be unkind, but I also knew it was going to be potentially hurtful. And I was like, he reacted to that so much better than I thought he was going to. This is awesome. What else can I tell him, right? I'm joking. Kind of. But you've grown so much since then, and it's been a short period of time. And that never, I said this to her last night behind the scenes. I said, that never happens. Usually it goes horribly. Not with you, but with people. A lot of people don't want you to share hard truths with them that will help them.
Unless they really want the thing, but that's why it's so hard. Like,
how do you know if someone really wants the thing when everyone tells you they do?
You look at the actions. If you really want the thing, you'd be working at the thing regardless of knowing how to do the thing. You'd be working at it. You'd be trying. You'd be researching. You wouldn't just be sitting there saying, I really want it. You've got to show, do you know exactly what to do? No. But are you trying to make progress in the right direction with the awareness that you have, with the resources you have? If yes, I would say the person actually wants it. Now, do they want it to the degree that they think? That's a different conversation. That's a completely different conversation. But I think you look at action. If there's action behind it, it helps.
In the stock market, you invest in companies you believe will grow. And that's how you make more money, so that you can reinvest that money and take some of it off for your lifestyle. That's how investing works. I feel the same way about people. I invest in people. I really need to... Cole, if you're out there watching or listening, Cole, a long time ago, said, hey, brother, just change the autofocus, or not the autofocus, the auto exposure on your camera, and it'll stop that thing that it does where it basically makes...
Blinds us?
Yeah, blinds us. I just haven't done it.
That's fair.
Completely... Cole, I just haven't done it. It's on the list. The list is a mile long. It's not on the top of it.
It's down there.
But I feel the same way about investing in people. As a leader, you invest in people. And... how do you know who to invest in and who not to? And I've learned this over the years. In my honest opinion, as much as this might be a potential altercation between Kevin and I think you invested in people less than you could have.
I agree. No.
But I invested way more than I should have.
That's factual. Yeah, that's no argument. No argument there.
Well, we both were off, I think. We were both not optimal. And I came from invest in everyone, believe in everyone, and everyone can achieve goals and dreams, and everyone's going to, make it. And a lot of people do pretend to have goals and dreams when they really don't, around me in particular. And I now understand that, but in the beginning I didn't. And in the beginning, you said that you wanted to be like Joe Rogan.
I did.
And I thought that you meant it, though, including everything that comes with that.
I did. I don't want to be that anymore. I want to be a different version of... Success is different now, but I still want it.
But if you didn't tell me that you wanted that, I wouldn't have invested as much.
Yeah.
I wanted to help you achieve your
that's what makes it super hard.
Hello, NLU listener. Thank you, as always, for listening to Next Level University. Real quick, I just want to jump in and let you know about the Next Level Dreamliner. This is a journal that I use every single day. Achieve your dreams 90 days at a time. It breaks down your dreams into goals, milestones, and daily habits. We hope you enjoy it. The link will be in the show notes.
The lens I'm coming at it from is not that necessarily. It's more... It was like, well, if this person changes this, and this, like it'll be just fine. It's like they're not going to, though. Like,
How do you know? Because I'm not disagreeing. They definitely won't.
It's
Seriously,
not that
you're right on this. You're accurate.
Well, it's not that I know. I don't know. I mean, people change all the time. Like they can, but it can't be. That can't be the. Yeah, it can't be the hinge. Like if they do, well, what if they don't though? And what if they do for a short amount of time until they realize they don't want to be like that? Then what?
Well, marriage is a interesting thing, and that's kind of going all in. That's like buying one stock and only buying one stock. So I think the correct conversation, or the better conversation for you and I to have in this, is how do you invest the right amount? And this is what I've got it boiled down to. Because I've told Kev behind the scenes, like, brother, you got to lead. There's people in your life that would benefit from your leadership, including the person you opened with. And you can't just presuppose they're not going to grow. They might grow if you give them the opportunity. However, you don't need to pour the whole fucking thing and force anyone to do anything, right? So I think a good leader is someone who pours and gives the opportunity to get to the next level. Kevin said this to me behind the scenes. He said, we're not trying to get anyone to your level. We're trying to get them to their next level. And I think that's true. So if someone comes at level 1 and they say they want to get to level 10, I don't help them get to level 10 anymore in this metaphor. They come to me and say, I want to climb to the top of Mount Everest. I no longer believe that to be true. I think that's what they think they want, but now I say, okay, well, have you climbed Mount Wachusett? And okay, well, have you climbed Monadnock yet? Okay, you did? Okay, so I go to whatever level they're at, and then I pour that amount to try to get them to a bigger mountain, but not Mount Everest. Whereas I think in the past, sometimes you just kind of let it ride and just didn't pour it all. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but
no, it's fair. Well, you got to think of my womb. I'm not afraid of being alone, so it's like I'm not really worried about it. That's my deepest wound and my deepest fear is not ending up alone. It's not being successful. So naturally, I'm going to cut bait a lot faster than somebody who doesn't have that fear, because I'm already convinced I can't be successful. So if there's any inclination to me that this person is going to hold me back, I'm not necessarily going to help try to make them grow.
How do you know when someone's going to hold you back? I don't feel like I have a good radar for that. I do now.
I don't know.
I feel like I had so many people in my life that were not focused on contributing as much as I thought.
Maybe that's not even the right phrasing. Maybe it's who's going to help me accelerate the most.
Okay, well, if they're not helping you accelerate, they probably are holding you back.
But I don't think it was like, it wasn't obvious this person is holding me back. It was more, I just feel like we're stagnant. I just feel like...
You can tell when people are stagnant?
Yeah, I would say so. I don't know. I think. It's not like a super conscious thought process.
How can you tell? I feel like I was terrible at identifying this. I think I look for a couple things and it tells me yes or no. Absolutely.
I don't really listen to what people say. I watch what they do. I don't listen. I don't care what you say. I don't care. I could say stuff too. It doesn't matter. I look for action. Like are the actions different than they were before? Yes, something is changing, positive and negative. You go hang out with someone and they say, yeah, I've really cut back on drinking. Awesome, cool. And then on their Instagram story, every 3 weeks, they're tearing it up. It's like, man, I don't feel like you're drinking the same amount. You just convince yourself you're drinking a little bit less. So the actions do not match.
You're good at identifying delusion. The story someone tells themselves about themselves.
I guess. I was very delusional in the past, so it makes sense. It's easy to recognize when you used to do it. You know?
But how do you know what they're... And this is one of the questions that I ask, and I said this on a business podcast yesterday. I know I'm talking a lot of business lately, but I know it's relevant. Business. I said, I now will never, ever bring anyone on the NLU team again unless I ask myself a certain question. Who is this person and what is this person when no one's watching? And this is a more hardcore one, but it's, can this person go into a gym by themselves and go on the Stairmaster for 30 minutes in the dark alone and not post it on Instagram? And if the answer is no, I would never have them on the NLU team. Because I need to know that you're in it for the right reason. In the past, it was ego and status, and that never worked for me. And I have my absolutely people and my absolutely not people. I'll be very brief about this, but my absolutely people are people who have high humility, inward humility, high work ethic, and high levels of commitment. Usually low self-worth, unfortunately. And that's definitely Kev, me, in the past. And the absolutely not people is anyone who wants big rewards for minimal effort, I will never work with again. And I'm talking in any capacity. And the reason why is because we will never jive. Anyone who wants big rewards for minimal effort is always going to take more than they give.
Yeah. We're going to have to do a part 2 of this. We did not explore the depths that we could have. I would say that we should. We're going to do a part 2 on this. I got to hop because I'm on a podcast. Alan has a coaching call. But I want to make sure because I think this is a really deep one. And I think the core wounds and the deepest fears and the relationship you have with relationships, that all dictates a lot of this stuff. And that's all like really valuable. So we'll make sure we do that. All right. If you are looking for better, more aligned, positive personal development relationships, join our private Facebook group, Next Level Nation. We'll have the link below.
The book Reset by Dan Heath. We do book club every Saturday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 1 hour. It's totally free. You can have your mic and camera off. You do not have to participate or have read the book. It's a brainstorming session. Great books with great people. It's like free coaching. I hope you join. At very least, it'll keep you inspired and motivated and educated towards your goals and dreams.
And that is a great book. It's a very, very, very good book. Could not recommend it enough. All right. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we don't have fans. We have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Keep it next level. Next Level Nation.